Hi Aries, Trishna here. Welcome to your February 2020 love reading. So what I'm feeling for you intuitively, Aries, is I feel like your life is going pretty well right now. I feel like there's a lot of really nice opportunities that are available to you. Maybe there's a lot of interest that you're trying to choose between. There's a lot going on in your life that's pretty positive. There's a lot of, again, opportunities that are kind of on your plate that you get to observe, look at, explore, pick and choose from, and all of that. I feel like work is probably going really well. And I feel like you think that your relationship is going really well. You are very much invested in your partner. You love them very much. You adore them. You invest in the relationship, and you think that things are going really well. Like you feel really happy in your relationship. Your partner, though, I feel is not quite as happy in the relationship as you are. I feel like there are some things that they want to talk about or that they want to maybe change or alter or make better or something like that. And they're not really sure how to bring it up to you. And I feel like they're kind of holding on to it internally. And that it's really important that you address it and that you bring up this topic to them because otherwise the resentment is going to grow. So I feel like sooner rather than later, like really soon rather than later, like now rather than later, I recommend that you just ask them how things are going, ask them how they feel about their relationship, and just ask them how they're feeling and give them an opportunity to kind of open up about their true feelings about the relationship because they're just not really sure how to do that because you seem really happy, but they're not, and so they're not really sure if they want to burst your bubble or anything like that, and they're also just not sure how to bring things up to begin with. So if you can open that door for them, I think that they would really appreciate it. They will feel like you're extremely sensitive, that even though you're really happy in the relationship, that you're paying attention to how they feel and that you understand that they're not feeling quite the same way. I think they would really, really appreciate and be impressed by your sensitivity to how they're feeling. And I think that they would be really appreciative that you are considerate enough to open the doorway for them to express how they're feeling as well, even though it may not be how you're feeling. And I think that that will go a really, really long way. And I think that if you do this sooner rather than later, you will have a lot more success in your relationship because the resentment has not been able to build up strong enough just yet to create any major issues. Now, if you wait till the end of the month, then they're going to be like internally kind of spewing or internally kind of holding on to this, and the resentment is going to grow, and the discussion is not going to be as productive then because there's going to be a lot of hurt or a lot of feelings that they're holding on to. Versus now, when yeah, they feel a little hurt or they maybe feel a little bit snuffed or a little bit stiffed or a little bit brushed off or something like that, something is going on. If you mention it now, like the resentment hasn't grown yet and their hurt hasn't dug in very deep yet, and so they're going to be really open to hearing you out and working on things and hearing your side of the story. So I think it's really important that you mention this now, and yeah, so and that will make your relationship a lot better. And Aries, you're not doing anything wrong in your relationship. Like, you are a very loving partner. You put in a lot into your relationship. You go above and beyond. You give your partner a lot of attention, and like you really do your best. So don't be worried about your partner's feedback. Just work through it, and it's okay. It'll be fine. Like, you are a very, very good partner. Do not take their feedback in any way as them saying that you are a bad partner because you are not. But sometimes like we think things are going really well because for whatever reason, and our partner's just not seeing things the same way, or they're not receiving the same experience that we think that they're giving them, and a conversation really helps bridge that gap between what you're putting out there and what they're feeling, and so like what you're giving and what they're receiving, and it can help you bridge that gap and help you figure out how to give better, and they can figure out how to receive better or how to express what they need you to give them better so they can receive, so that you're on the same page. That's the only thing, is like I think maybe the two of you are just on different pages, and I feel like the two of you have been together long enough for there to be a lot of trust, but maybe your partner for whatever reason like is not interpreting your genuine nature as truly genuine just yet, and that's okay. Like, it takes a little while to learn each other, and so there may just be some kind of misunderstanding where they're thinking that you're doing certain things for certain reasons that maybe not, like maybe they think are not as kind or something like that, when really you're doing them for very kind reasons, and it really is just about a discussion. There's just some kind of misinterpretation, misunderstanding, mistranslation going on in their relationship, and that can be fixed, especially if it's sooner rather than later. Again, if you wait for this conversation, then it's a little up in the air on how things are going to go. There's going to be a lot more work you're going to have to put into it because there's a lot more resentment and hurt there, and therefore a lot more trust that needs to be rebuilt. So just something for you to keep in mind. Now, if this reading does not resonate, if you don't have a lot of opportunities your way or a lot of interest that you're kind of looking at, if things aren't going really well in your life overall, in your career, if you aren't feeling really good, then obviously this reading is not for you. So you don't need to have this conversation with your partner. But I mean, it's harmless to ask. So this reading is for those who are resonating with the message. The advice is for those who are resonating with the message. But again, I was going to say that it never really hurts to ask how your partner is feeling, so you can't really go wrong with this. So, yeah, you can't really go wrong with this. But again, make sure that the reading is for you. Whenever you do these readings, make sure that you're resonating with it, because the advice is for who the reading is for. And these are general readings, so readings aren't always for every single Aries out there. It's going to be for the Aries who need it the most at that point in time. So, something to keep in mind. All right, Aries, so I'm going to go ahead and pull some tarot cards, and we're going to do a tarot reading. I always feel like my Aries readings are a little bit shorter than the other ones, and I sometimes feel like it's because I do your readings first, and so I'm like just warming up or I'm trying something new, but I did your reading third, Aries, so I guess like you like things a little bit shorter and sweeter, and you like to get to the point and to keep your life simple. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and move to the tarot readings, and we will see what the cards have to say for you. All right, Aries, so we're going to talk about the top row in this video, and then in the extended, we're going to talk about the last 6 cards, and then of course pull additional cards as needed. So in the top row, we have the 7 of Cups, the Empress, the Page of Cups, the 3 of Wands, the 3 of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. So with the 7 of Cups, I feel like this is speaking to what we talked about in the intuitive portion, where there's a lot of opportunities out there for you. There's a lot of interest. There's a lot of options for you to explore and to choose from. I feel like the 7 of Cups, though, is basically telling you that you can't have every single one of those opportunities. You can't have every single one of those interests. You can't have everything that's out there that is available to you. You have to pick and choose a few that you really care about, that you really want, and that are really important to you. And I feel like this relates very much to what your partner is feeling and why they're not feeling so good in the relationship at present. I feel like your partner feels like a lot of your time together is spent you basically talking about all these opportunities and you basically steering the conversation to be more about what's going on with you, and you're not really giving a lot of attention to your partner. So maybe you're spending time with them, but you're not really giving them any attention during that time. And so they feel a little bit invisible. They feel a little bit stiffed in some way. They feel a little bit brushed off because you're not really giving them like an opportunity to kind of speak and share what's going on with them. Or for some of you, you may not be spending as much time with your partner right now as you used to because you are involved in a lot of other activities. And so while you are like showing up whenever you're with them, there's not as much time being spent with them. So if something like that, so you really need to pick and choose what it is that you want to have, the few things that really matter to you, because if you focus too much on too many different things, you're going to be so scattered, Aries. It's really not going to be that worth it. You're going to feel good about it, but you're really not going to be moving forward on that many of them. You're only going to move forward on maybe one of those opportunities, versus if you just pick maybe 2 or 3, you'll be able to move forward very strongly in those 2 or 3 instead of just one. So I think it's very much in your best interest for yourself as well as for your partnership that you focus on just a few of the opportunities or interests that really matter to you and that you're really excited about. Your partner is represented by the Empress. I feel like your partner is somebody who is very loving, very nurturing, who very much cares about you, who very much cares about the relationship that the two of you have, who loves you so much, Aries. But they, again, are feeling a little bit stiffed because they really want to show you love. They really want to nurture you, and they want to love you, and they want to adore you, and they want to shower you with just affection, but you're not giving them as much time. Or whenever you are giving them time, you're not really focused on the two of you. You're kind of more focused on not even yourself, but the opportunities that are available to you. So it's like you're not even focused on either one of you. You're focused on something that's completely separate, and they feel like they can't express their love. They feel like they're not being given the chance to do what they want to do, which is to love you. So they feel a little bit disappointed by that, a little bit brushed off by that. For some of you, one of you in your relationship may be pregnant. That may only be for a few of you. The Page of Cups, I feel, represents your partner again. I feel like they have a lot of fears regarding the relationship. You're basically focused on all these other things, and they feel very brushed off, and they wonder if the relationship may come to an end. Are they going to be the only one who is invested in this relationship? Are they going to be the only one who is holding on to what's good in the relationship? I ran out of space, but they're wondering, are they going to be the ones that are left holding the bag with nobody else around them, nobody, like you basically not being there for them by the end of it? So they have some fears, Aries, and that's why they're not really very happy about the situation in the relationship right now, even though you're in a really happy place. Like, they really want to show you a lot more love. They love doing that because they absolutely adore you, and they're not really being given the opportunity to be able to nurture you. And then on top of that, they have fears of, like, are you going to stick around? So the Three of Wands, most of this actually is a kind of about your partner. So I guess because in the intuitive portion, we didn't really talk much about what your partner was feeling or why. We talked about that very much at a high level, and like all the details are coming out here. So that's good. The tarot reading and the intuitive portion seem to complement each other well sometimes. So the Three of Wands is basically your partner again. They're really serious about this relationship. They're really serious about building a world together with you, building a life together with you, and planning things out, and really building something solid. Like, they are very, very serious, Aries, about you and about the relationship, and they're so committed and they're so invested, and they care a lot about you and the relationship. Three of Swords tends to represent a breakup. I feel like this is not a breakup for the two of you. I feel like this is their fears. They very much believe that a breakup could be on the horizon. They are very, very concerned about this. They aren't really sure where you stand because there's just so much of your focus going on to new things. And they're like, well, I'm an old thing. Am I still part of the plan, or am I just an old thing while there are all these other new things that you're a lot more interested in? So they are very concerned. The fears, like we talked about, they're very concerned that they don't know where this relationship is headed. They don't know if you see a future with them. They don't know if when you look at your future, they're in it. So they're very, very concerned about this, Aries. It's really important that you talk about this with them sooner rather than later. That is where the hurt is. It's all around these fears. So Aries, if this reading has been resonating for you, it's important because they really want you to be the Knight of Swords, and if you are the Knight of Swords, then you basically can obliterate their fears. They want you to be the Knight of Swords, meaning they want you to be the person who basically slashes through any fears that they have that there is a breakup on the horizon or a breakup potential that is out there. They want you to come in and they want you to get rid of those fears. They want you to appease them. They want you to basically make them, I don't know if appease is the right word, but they want you to comfort them and relax them and let them know that they are important to you and that they are a part of your future. And they want you to completely get rid of the fears of a breakup that they have in their mind. And I feel like it is very much possible for you to do that, especially if you're the one that initiates the discussion. But either way, I feel like it is very possible for you to be able to do that pretty easily. They just need to hear you say it. They just need to hear that you're aware of it and that is not a potential, and that you really do want them in your future, and that you see them in your future, and they just need you to come in with a lot of strength, saying like, there is not going to be a breakup. Like, that's not even what I'm thinking. That's not even where I'm at. Like, I have all these opportunities and these interests, and like, who would I share my enjoyment with but you? Like, you're my person. So they need you to kind of come in and be that knight who slashes their fears away till they don't exist anymore. So Aries, this concludes the YouTube portion of this video. If you're interested in the extended, you can access it at the link at the end of this video. The link is also in the description box. It's www.patreon.com/Trishna. And we're going to talk about the bottom 6 cards. So we have the High Priest, Karma, the Five of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Moon, and the King of Swords. So if you're interested in that, we will talk about these cards in that video. If not, and I will see you there. If not, thank you so much for watching. I hope I earned your like and your subscribe, and I will see you in my next video on YouTube.